Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I'm continuing to explore the book Watercolor in the Woods by Jane Carkill. My son has requested that I paint a hedgehog, so that's what I'm gonna do today. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I originally started it as an AuthorTube channel, and I'm continuing to have videos about writing and books, but I also produce art videos because art is just my hobby that makes me happy. I like to try different things, and it appears that many of you like art as well, so I'm happy to have you here. Jane has templates in the end of her book, but I prefer to hand draw, even though it's not always 100% successful. Like, for example, this hedgehog compared to the hedgehog that she has looks like his sick cousin maybe, but you know, I think there's value in trying to hand draw the objects that you are painting, because this way you can learn proportions better. So that's a learning process. Just like last time, I'm eyeballing the colors. She does give the names of the paints that she's using, but I'm just trying to recreate whatever color I see in her own illustrations. You can see here the paint is not completely dry before I start applying the second coat, because that is what she's advising us to do. And you know, I still have a lot to learn when it comes to different techniques like wet on wet, or wet on dry, or dry on wet, or whatever they're called. But it's fun to try. You know, your first few watercolor paintings, so let me say your first 100, 200 watercolor paintings are probably gonna look like crap, but that's the process. Another thing she recommends is the paintbrush of a certain size. You know, she always mentions if it's like size 4, size 6, size 0. Well, I don't think I even have all of the sizes of paintbrushes. I have 3 paintbrushes that I normally use for her book, and one of them, the one that I'm using here, you can see it looks kind of funky. Well, now there's a different one, but the one that you saw previously, it looks funky because I use scissors to cut its tip, so that it's, I don't know, I assume it's size 0, so I'm using it for fine details. So here you can see we applied the base coat for the hedgehog's back, and now that it's dry, we can finally start working on the spikes. Now, if you look closely, you might notice that there is a line following from his head to his back all the way, and I don't want this line to be there. I don't know how it happened exactly. Maybe it was my original pencil drawing, or maybe I just applied the base coat wrong, but I was hoping that the spikes would mask the line, and it actually didn't happen. However, later on, we're gonna use some white acrylic paint, and I feel like that really helped me mask it. Just adding some details on his cute little feet. Now there's time for acrylics. I've noticed she does it in multiple illustrations of hers. She first goes with watercolor, and then she adds some details in acrylics. Actually, that was very helpful for the eye because in her illustration, the eye has this like glimmer or glint, I don't know what to call it, like this little white dot really makes the eye look real. And then, of course, we go in adding those shades in the spikes, and that finally helped me mask the line that I didn't like. Now for the final steps, I like to add a little frame to those miniatures, and I also like to write the name of the object, even though here it's quite obvious that's a hedgehog. But I've started doing this in my Primrose video, and I think I'm just gonna continue the tradition. My handmade brush number 0 at work. So here is the final result, the hedgehog that I'm gonna add to my miniature collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you like this type of content, and I will see you next time. Bye!